the Bond's quips are so bad in this movie, are such groaners that like it almost seems intentional that they are supposed to be bad. Like they went out of their way to say like the worst one, because they're not even jokes. They're not even. They're just groaning bad.
Change of heart. I think he got the point. Those are not such groaners, but listen, I admit this movie is pushing the envelope a little, but when I look at it thematically and what it has to say and how relevant it is actually to everything that's going on right now, and how billionaires obsessed with space and abandoning the planet might think, and I compare it to the theme of For Your Eyes Only, which I think is just détente. Mm-hmm. I think that's the theme of that movie.
A big debate coming up. Should Bond have gone to space earlier in the film? Let's hear Quentin and Roger duke it out.
The format is also classic Bond. Like the format is still there.
Well, that's part of my big problem with the movie. Because without having seen it, I was expecting it to get into space much sooner.
Yeah.
And that's not even a negative. But if I was expecting it to get into space much sooner, I was expecting it to be different. And I thought what was different about it was going to be something I wasn't going to like. And then when I watched it, I go, no, this isn't different at all. This is exactly like a Roger Moore Bond film, but except everything is really cheesy and left-handed except for the space stuff until they get into space.
It's a little cheesy also in space.
Well, it is a little cheesy, but
they're not afraid of having.
But at least when it gets into space, the movie finally gets to be what it wants to be. All right, the whole idea is to get into space, and at least when they get into space, now they're fulfilling their purpose.
Well, but one of the things I love about this movie is that it's not just space. Like to get into space right away, then you don't get to have like for instance, the rules of the game moment. In the middle of this movie, you're at Versailles and they do rules of the game. Okay, and they're suddenly doing the hunting party thing where they're just killing.
Yeah, okay. Look, I wanted to like this movie and you really did a good job selling it. And I'm not trying to be the spoil sport that just pisses on it. But as it walked through the paces, it was so lackluster. It cared so little about the paces. And it was so blatant that I forgot how everything in Bond movies are set. Okay, there's the meeting of Drax, the meeting of the big villain.
Yes.
Okay, so that's set up, and that's not bad because again, the Michael Lansale is cool. Then there's that moment, which is the rules of the game moment, where the fox hunt or the shooting the
pheasant hunt,
the pheasant hunt. You know where
it's like the billionaires are just blowing everything that flies out of the sky.
God forbid, all the dead birds in this movie. Forget about it.
I mean, right away, it's a statement that I'm behind. It's okay, here's the rich people. They're killing everything.
Well, it's a statement a lot of dead birds gave their life to make. But that sequence is the whole thing where Bond plays the game that the villain is the expert on, and Bond shows his own expertise.
Yeah,
playing the villain's game, and then the travelogue aspect. Okay, we're going to randomly go to 3 countries for really no reason whatsoever other than to just shoot Bond against the background.
It's not random.
I think they did it so half-heartedly to me that it was like, it became obvious. Oh, no, well, they have to go to Sweden. Then they have to go to...
Yeah, like, here's the plot, the basic idea. The Moonraker is stolen. Mm-hmm. Bond knows that he's got to go meet Drax. He goes and meets Drax. Okay, Drax is obviously a villain. And Drax has obviously like stolen the thing, and he doesn't even give a fuck that James Bond is there. He just insults him.
Yeah.
And it's just like continuously insults him and like, oh, your country is this and your country is that. You see right away the billionaire's disdain for countries and like all of this stuff and wants out of it. And then while he's there, he realizes that there's something to do with glass and Venice. Now, in those days, if you wanted to make like the finest quality glass, you had to go to Venice, Italy. Mm-hmm. That's where glass was done. So that leads him to Venice. And so we get a little travelogue of Venice. And then from there, it's like there's the export company. Everything's done in Brazil, which eventually takes us into the Amazon, where the temple is. Like, to me, that's kind of there is a progression going on there. It's not so random or...
Well, I didn't say random. I said half-hearted. All right?
Look. Well, the Venice thing I've always thought was really clever. The glass and the Venice thing. And in fact, they've got that amazing fight sequence in the glass shop.
Well, that is... Okay, aside from the opening sequence, that's the only action scene that I thought had any kind of.
I think you've now said four times.
No. I didn't say no. In a movie with mediocre to horrible action scenes, that was one of the better ones.
But you have to admit, that's an action scene that's played for comedy, right? Like, because
admittedly, yeah.
It's basically let's smash everything.
Okay, that was kind of funny. All right. Yeah, the fact that they set up Drax's impossibly austere museum collection and then have it all destroyed. Okay, that was kind of funny. I will admit that's the only action scene that had the right kind of joie de vivre.
Yeah.
Up next, let's hear what Quentin and Roger think about the much talked about gondola chase scene. And, as a treat, Quentin gives you his Clarence Darrow-like argument on animal double takes.
But it is null and void by the horrible gondola chase, which is a new low in the series for comic chases.
It has some clumsy moments.
Terrible.
It's clumsy.
It's terrible.
It's a screenwriter scene that wasn't fully realized.
It is
as good as the opening sequence is.
It's like a beach party. With the chase scenes in beach party movies. We even mentioned it. There's that old guy on the beach who might as well be Buster Keaton doing his pratfalls during the beach party chase scenes. Not only that, it has 3 reaction shots of animals.
Yeah, they have a pigeon that blinks.
Watching Bond go by and doing double takes. Any movie that cuts to reaction shots of animals doing comic double takes can never be taken seriously under any circumstances. There's 3 of them.
Okay, maybe it's not meant to be taken seriously. Maybe it's meant to be a fun time at the movies.
As a film.
It's a movie.
As a film. Okay. It's moving guitar picks is what it is.
Moving on to Exhibit B, Hugo Drax. What would James Bond be without his evil counterpart? One of the most relatable Bond villains. Let's listen as Quentin and Roger break down his evil plan.
Later on in the movie, when they're in space, and Michael Lonsdale is giving he's gathered up everybody. He's gotten all the beautiful people from the world. We're gonna
look. Admittedly, Drax has the most diabolical plan.
Yeah, we're gonna kill.
Right. We're gonna kill everybody on Earth. We're gonna ruin the human race, and then we're gonna go back and repopulate it.
And more than that, you will be able to look up into the heavens and know that there is true law.
No,
above.
that's cool. Yeah.
He's going to stay up there.
No, I mean that's actually even kind of similar to
like fucking Jeff Bezos. He's going to stay up there with a poison canister to throw down on. If things get out of hand on Earth, I'll still be up here.
Well, it's similar to whatchamacallit, Vincent Price in the Jules Verne movie, the Master of the World.
Totally.
Yeah, where he's up there, he's in the killer blimp.
Yeah.
And I will, if you commit war, I will destroy you.
Yeah.
Oh, and Michael Lonsdale is playing him as like almost like a pseudo Captain Nemo.
Yeah, he is. He has this
because the Vincent Price character is basically Captain Nemo of the air.
Yeah,
and he's basically Captain Nemo in space.
I love when he.
I mean, the name of the space station should be the Nautilus.
Yeah, it should be. Actually, you said it. The space station itself should have been
named Moonraker. Why are these little shuttles named Moonraker? No, the space station is what's impressive.
That should have actually been the Moonraker of the title.
An actor makes a character. Quentin sheds some light on actor Michael Lonsdale with a personal story about when Lonsdale accepted his César.
The one last thing I want to talk about the movie is just Michael Lonsdale himself, because one of the things that's very funny. See, in France, he's considered one of their great.
Oh, he's a great
actor. He's considered one of their great movie actors. However, when he does international productions where he speaks English, if you know him only from his English language movies, which I only know him from his English language movies, he's this like cheesy B movie actor.
Hammy.
He's hammy, cheesy B movie actor who specializes in giving exposition.
Yeah.
Now, I will have to say, I was once in a room with Michael Lonsdale. I didn't meet him, I don't think. But I was at the César ceremony in 2008 when he won the César for Best Supporting Actor, his only César. And it was a really special moment because he had never won one before. And he walked up to the stage and he's holding the César in his hand and goes, "Ah, how long I've waited for you. My old friend, I finally found you. I finally have you." And he had this whole little moment of him never getting a César, and now it's finally happened. In 2008, he's finally won his first César. And that was a really special moment. And even without having seen Moonraker, it looked like Hugo Drax up there. Just from seeing the trailer, all right? It looked like Hugo Drax is up there. Ha ha! I found you.
He's fantastic. He's reason enough.
He should have played Balak in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
He would have been fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.